everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and I've got Austin, the Day Ghost, with me. Hi, Austin.
Oh no, you started the stream as I was adjusting my position.
That's okay, you're in a tiny, tiny box.
Okay, that's not too bad then. It's only slightly embarrassing.
So, I have no idea if this is going to ultimately work out. We've had crazy amounts of issues trying to get this whole thing started, and we were just gonna stream for an hour and call it a night. Like, we were just getting together to hang out for the fun of it, and I've spent the last half an hour trying to work through some technical difficulties. First I had massive audio things, then I had weird connection problems. I don't know how well this is going to stream. I don't know if you're going to have major buffering issues or whatever. We're lucky the game is playing right now. So, I don't know. We're going to attempt this. I mean, anything that could go wrong has already gone wrong just for this fun little stream I wanted to do, going back to Nights into Dreams, which is one of my absolute favorite Sega games of all time. Austin, one of the things I like about the way this streams on PS Now, we're playing this on the PS4, and I wish it would let you download it, then that would be, fewer connection issues I would have to deal with, but it's only letting us cloud stream right now. But it does different things for different, seasons and holidays, and so it knows it's the new year, so that's fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hi, Lewis. I'm doing okay, man. It's good to see you. Okay, so, one of the reasons we're late as well is because Austin and I were messing around in the menu and trying to figure out how to start a new game. And
yeah, apparently you can never go back. It's just, once you played a little bit, that's it. You only get one.
Like you said earlier, like life.
Yeah, it's like life.
Yeah, so check this out. So, Brand New Dreams is the remastered version. That's part of the reason I wanted to stream this, was to show you the remastered version. And I did a stream just sampling some stuff a couple months ago where I played a little bit of this game, but I was doing the Christmas version. So tonight I just wanted to play through the game and see how far I could get. It's been several years since I did any gameplay on this on the channel, and I've never live streamed it, so I thought, well, that'd be fun. Let's do that. And check it out. It's got my full game from last time I played this. And it's not letting us start a new game at all. And if you go to the Saturn version, it does the same thing. Thanks, John. John says congrats on my fourth child. I just announced yesterday that Sarah and I are having a baby in August. So anyway, yeah, I guess we're just gonna play some levels. I don't know what else to do. How in the world is this set up to not let you start the game over? Like, I'd love a straight up reset. At this point, just because I wanted to do this tonight, I don't mind getting rid of all of my data, Austin.
Yeah, it's just another part of the list.
Man.
Tonight is a disaster.
It's an absolute disaster. I can't believe this has gone on as long as it has, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and play, and we're going to pretend like we're starting from the beginning. I mean, we're going to start from the beginning, but we're going to pretend like we're starting a brand new game. And I guess I'll just try to beat my scores.
That's at least something. You gotta get those high scores. That's what games are all about.
Well, in this game, to be fair, actually is kind of about that. Not that I pay any attention to points, but I do pay attention to the ratings, to the grades.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because you have to get at least a C to even progress.
Yeah.
And once you get that, you find yourself going, oh man, I sure wish I could do even better than a C. You start feeling like you're back in school. You go, I can do better than a C. I want a C average. I can't tell people I'm good at nights if I'm only getting C's.
Yeah, I have that with Hitman.
Oh, yeah?
Mess around, on Hitman, and, just go full Bond, and just, murder all the henchmen. And it's you have 0 stars. And I'm like, well, I feel accomplished anyways.
I can't remember because I haven't played that in so long, and I mean I've hardly ever played Hitman because I can't play it. I mean I love it, but I can't do it. But I forget. Does that do the grade thing?
Yeah. It ranks your star. You got 5 stars.
Oh, that's
whatever
right.
System. At least in the 2 new ones. I don't know.
I think it did that early on too, or something like it, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because I think they've always kind of like, uh, kept track of score and like made sure like, or detracted points for like killing people and stuff like that that aren't your targets.
Did they go back and change the soundtrack some, or is it just my imagination? I'm not listening to this real loud, but I feel like I heard a solo in there that wasn't in this track before.
Maybe it's just the remastered one.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, maybe.
No, that sounds different. But it's weird because it doesn't sound like, to my ear, that they've really improved on the actual sound of it so much as they just gave you a little bit of a different melody in there. Weird!
I was gonna say maybe it's just that it sounds better and like more clear, but I guess not.
I don't think it does. It's about the same to me.
Yeah, and with because obviously I've never played this, but like the Sonic Adventure one, I played a little bit, and it looked like it was basically just that director's cut version of that game with no real improvements.
Well, folks watching live right now, thanks for being here. Miraculously, we are still broadcasting, and it seems like the stream is pretty smooth at this point, knock on wood. So we will continue broadcasting for about an hour, and if we're able to, and hang out with you guys. Direct your questions to Austin. He is here to chat, moderate, and make fun of me if I lose.
Well, I'm already ready for that. We have one super chat so far from John Ty that says, have
Thanks,
you read
John.
Tom King's Mr. Miracle yet?
No, I still haven't. Was it you or somebody else that asked me about that recently? I have not read that since somebody asked me about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was when we were streaming too. I remember.
I think that came up during one of the streams, maybe Ghost of Sushi or AVGN or something. I was gonna do some more AVGN tonight, by the way, but then I was really having kind of a hankering to play some Knights. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying it might have been the Vision book though, because when I first saw that super chat, I was like, "Oh, Cap and I are gonna review that."
We are.
Wait a
Look,
minute.
I got a B. That's exciting.
No, we're reviewing Vision, not Mr. Miracle.
But Mr. Miracle, I have bought all of, but I have not gotten around to reading past like the first issue.
I have heard that series is really good.
I have too. Well, and it was hugely acclaimed as it was coming out, and nobody turned on it like they did as Batman. So I'm assuming it ends okay as well.
Yeah, and if I like his Vision, I'll probably check that out.
Oh man, I ended up going into that egg thing with 19. I need 20.
You're already losing. It's the first level that you've beaten before.
I'm not losing. No, it's just really funny because I mean I could have gone around again. I would have had enough time to do the rotation at least one more time before I went ahead and blew up the module thing. But I just thought it was really funny that I went in with 19 of the 20 I needed, and then I just had to go like 5 feet forward and get the last one.
John Early, do you like Austin Powers? Austin. I like the first one, and I remember liking the second one, but I haven't seen like any of them in a few years, so who knows at this point. Probably, I guess.
Okay, this is weird. So the game is not playing exactly the way it does on Saturn. It seems like they're randomizing enemies, maybe, unless they just decided to give you Rialo right out the gate for some reason. Because this is supposed to be a later boss. I mean, I'm playing the first level. Rialo is usually later. So that's weird.
Oh, okay, but it's like one of the bosses?
Yeah. It's kind of a Nega Knights.
Yeah.
I always thought Rialo was weird because Knights is kind of like androgynous. Doesn't seem to have a particular gender. And you play as a boy and a girl, both of whom are able to, in their dreams. Wow, that was probably the fastest I've ever beaten that boss. Wow. That's the one that sometimes will trip me up, but I actually got through it really fast. Anyway, but
You just got nuked, so I don't think you made it.
the first time I played this, I was like, why am I exploding?
And a C.
No, that was just a really dramatic transition. No, I was just gonna say, 1 second. Hi, Dimitri. Good to see you, man. I think I'm with you. He says, is the game more zoomed in than usual, or is it just me? Yeah, I was thinking that too. It kind of looked like it to me as well. Anyway, I forget what I was talking about.
Which is funny because the Sonic Adventure one is like a little like cube in the screen with just like a purple background around it. It's real weird.
Weird.
Yeah,
Well, let's go ahead and jump back over and play as Elliot. Dimitri is a big fan of Knights, just like I am. He and I have talked about this game a little bit. He used to be in the Geekvolution Creative Writing Group. And I discovered that he was really into this after I did a review of the comic series, and found out that he actually has a Knights collection. There's not a lot of Knights memorabilia, but if it exists, he probably has it.
Yeah, because Sonic Adventures was my only real experience with Knights, because
Sure.
it's in the casino level.
I guess what I was saying about the androgynous thing is Riala always seemed like very clearly a like male Evil Knights to me, but Knights is neither male or female. But Riala has like this real deep voice. I mean, I think Knights is more effeminate than masculine, but Riala is pretty clearly masculine to me.
Yeah, I just assumed it was a woman. I didn't realize that it doesn't have a gender.
It doesn't, which I always thought was really kind of interesting, because both the boy and the girl are able to dualize with Knights. So you're actually playing as two different characters, but Knights is sort of like a symbiote sort of character.
Or like a Shazam?
In a way.
Like
no, more like a benevolent Venom.
Oh, okay.
Because Knights is its own entity still, I
But
think.
is Knight's a loser?
No, Knights is not a loser. Dimitri says I might have to add to my collection soon. Have you seen the Balin Wonderworld trailer? No, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I will try to take a look at that. Well, Austin, let me know if there's anything cool in the comments we should be talking about.
James Egan asks, Kappa's Pixar discussions making a return.
Jeff and I have not had time to get our schedules together to make anything together recently, but we have talked about it over just the last month. We were talking about trying to bring that back and finish the movies we haven't done yet. Not too much left. I think we have everything like after Brave, so what is that, 5 or 6 movies?
Something like that, yeah. But, yeah.
I am really curious to see what he'll think of Soul, because I thought of him that entire movie. I mean, that protagonist is basically my stepdad.
Oh, cool.
I mean, going all the way down to he's a jazz musician and a concert pianist and a teacher, and a guy who's gotten more work as a teacher than he has as a musician.
Yeah, and a guy who died and then came back as a cat. Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he likes it when I bring up that time that he embarrassingly fell down a manhole. But, although, you know what's really funny? He even has something sort of like that, although he didn't have to go to the hospital and it didn't kill him, clearly, because he's alive. Unless he was allowed to come back because a Jerry told him he could from the great beyond. But anyway, no, he once, up in the attic at his house, he fell through the ceiling. He was like working on something up there, and he fell through the ceiling, and he landed on a turntable. He busted a record player.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I'm sure he would love that I'm telling the story.
Oh, definitely.
But anyway, yes, he and I want to bring that back, and we also want to do the Tick series that we've been threatening for a couple of years now.
James Egan also asks, are you guys going to do commentaries on the Alien films?
I know Austin wants to.
Well, that was one thing I suggested to you when you first asked me on the channel.
I thought so, yeah.
Mm.
And I was more comfortable with Transformers, so I suggested that first.
Yeah, Terminator.
Oh, did I say Transformers? I meant Terminator, yeah. They both start with a T. We were talking about Transformers earlier this evening.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. That
Yeah, we should go through that franchise and blow our brains up, and we'll just do the ones that aren't Bumblebee.
Well, and the best part is, because I was like 10 when that first movie came out, so I like know way too much about at least the first three. It's like I can name like all the characters in it.
Come on. Blow up, you filthy rat. So Austin, how lost are you watching me play this? Because we've been talking about everything but this game.
I'm very lost. You said you're fighting a rat, but it looks like you're fighting a giant wasp. This is like the little cube that I have to look at.
Well, there's there's a cat that is making mice explode.
Oh, okay.
And you have to blow up all the mice, and then you have to get the cat.
I barely know what's happening in that you're just kind of like flying around and...
Well, that's what I meant, not with this boss specifically, but just, have you been looking at this game going, what is happening?
Yeah.
So when we get into the next level, I'll try to explain it to you a little bit. I didn't want to spend the whole time just telling people how this game is played. I do have a video like that where I explain the whole thing to Brandon.
Yeah.
So if you want a Knight's tutorial, I have made that. I kind of wanted to just make this a playthrough, but I'll give you the bare bones and kind of tell you what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Busted Sim, I have no idea what this is, but then I'm not a huge platformer, but somehow watching this reminds me of the submarine levels of Earthworm Jim, though not as frustrating. I never got that far in Earthworm Jim, to be honest with you.
I've never even played that.
It's frickin' hard.
Stassi, will there be a Morphin Mania live stream before Power Rangers leaves Netflix? I didn't even realize they were leaving.
Yeah, we talked about that on the Captain Logan show the other day. Probably not, honestly. And we're holding out and hoping that ends up streaming somewhere else in the not too distant future. But yeah, DJ and I don't have plans to bring that out back right now. Unfortunately, that's kind of on hiatus. He and I haven't had time to get our schedules matched and prioritize that.
And John Early...
There's not a big audience for that show, but the folks that like it really like it, and I appreciate you if you've been following that. I'm sorry that we haven't put any of those out in a while.
That's because Power Rangers is dumb.
Well, it is dumb, but that's part of what's fun about it. Just for that, I'm going to make you come on that show.
Well, I'd like double the amount of Power Rangers stuff I've seen.
Well, I don't know if you've ever watched a Morphomania, but, like, it is not a prerequisite to know anything about that show or to even have seen the episode we're doing.
Okay, perfect, because I've only seen the movie. So...
Okay, so I'm going to explain to Austin real quick how this game works, okay? So right now, I'm a little girl, right? And her name is Claris, and she's dreaming, and right now, if I wanted to, I could just walk all around this level, and that would be pointless, but I could do that. But what I need to do is go dualize with Knights. So I become Knights, and then...
Like the KO Garden?
What's that?
Oh, I was saying it's just like the KO Garden or whatever from Sonic Adventures, but never mind.
It kind of looks like that, yeah. I hadn't thought of that. But anyway, so I have control of up, right, or up, down, right, and left, but the game itself is actually on rails.
That's what I assumed, yeah.
Which always throws people off because it's kind of a strange mechanic, but you get used to it. So each rotation around the level changes after you've gotten through a section.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is pick up blue spheres. You get 20 of them. You use the 20 to blow up the module thing, and then you have to take the sphere that you get from the module thing back to your kind of home base over here. And you do that 4 times. And then after that, you fight a boss. And obviously, you have a time limit. Sort of like Rings in Sonic, what's important in this game is time. So if you happen to get hit by any bad guys, which are few and far between, but they take away time rather than anything else. And if you get down to 0, you undualize and you lose all of your points and everything, and you have no chance at anything but an F after that. And you have to kind of get back to your home base and dualize with knights.
And then you fly through rings like Superman.
Yes. The rings give you your power for your spin meter. They're in the bottom left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the point of that.
So now I know.
Yeah, and then anything that is in your kind of sphere of influence here, when you spin all the way around, like comes to you. So you create sort of a vortex.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I spin around as much as I do. You can use that to kill enemies, and you can use that to bring spheres to you. So I don't have to fly into each of them. And that helps it go much, much faster. And if you don't learn how to do that, you cannot proceed through the game. It is a very important mechanic.
I just want to know how they came up with the idea for this game. That's something.
Yeah, because it's real innovative.
I just meant like in the story where they're like, okay, you're gonna be a kid that like turns into this flying person and collects blue balls.
I mean, it's very Japanese, right? Like,
what were they smoking? Cigarettes?
Okay, but is it that much weirder than, okay, so you're a hedgehog, and you're fighting this bald rich guy who's turning woodland creatures into machines.
Well, yeah, that's just the 90s.
Well, that's true. You don't have Sonic without Fern Gully.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Fern Gully is basically the best Sonic movie.
And then what I just did there is when you get the yellow tail, you can do tricks to get extra points.
Oh,
and
okay.
you do most of those with your shoulder buttons. But yeah, this is one of those games that is simultaneously fun to show people and look impressive, and maddening to try to teach people.
Yeah, it looks nuts.
One of the few things I really know how to play and I'm decent at. I have put a lot of hours into this game since I was a kid, and I got this shortly after it came out. Made it.
Oh, C. Getting all these C's.
Yeah, I could work harder. So, Austin, what else do you see in the comments there, man?
John earlier just asked, do you have more problems with 2019's Joker than you do with Ragnarok? I don't know if that's aimed at you or me.
Oh, no. I don't. I like the Joker movie.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's, like, brilliant or anything, but, like, I like it.
Yep. That is also my review.
Which is more than I can say about Ragnarok.
Yeah, I don't think it's brilliant or anything, and I also don't like it.
Well, it's my bottom MCU film.
Mine too, I think.
Yeah, I figured yours was either that or Dark World.
Hey, let's put Austin in the hot seat. What are some other bottom tier MCU movies for you? Let's bring some of the hate to Austin instead of all to me. Oh no!
You want me to lose all the audience? Okay.
I do.
Yeah, I have them ranked. Oh, hold on, I gotta fix this.
Man, I'm in trouble right now.
my number one on my MCU rank is Thor Ragnarok right now because I did that as a joke. Hold on, I gotta fix this.
I may have screwed this up. Where is the module thingy? I forget. Is it actually inside here? I can't even remember right now. We've been talking and I'm thrown off now. No, it's out. It's right outside, right? No, it is in there. I was right, but alas, I'm in trouble.
Okay, here's my impromptu
Come on.
MCU
Oh, I'm
ranking.
so close. No.
Okay, so the bottom is Ragnarok, and then it's Captain Marvel, and then Dark World, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, the first Thor, Black Panther, Incredible Hulk, Endgame, Iron Man 2, Doctor Strange, Captain America First Avenger, The Avengers.
Oh, I didn't know you were
Iron
going to
Man
read through the
3.
entire list. I just wanted to know what your bottom 2 or 3 were. Wait, why am I fighting Riala again? This is
Okay,
weird.
I'll let everybody imagine the rest of the list.
Rainbow Nightmare deleted Twitter off his iPad. I haven't used Twitter in probably 3 years.
Yeah, I don't really use Twitter.
I mean, like, my Geekvolution Facebook posts, I think, still double post over to Twitter, but I haven't looked at Twitter in forever. So there may be some Twitter followers that think that I use Twitter, but I don't.
Well,
It's
I
an
remember the first time I
illusion!
ever spoke to you was on Twitter. If it was actually you, I don't know. I assume
know.
you ran your own Twitter.
I do run my own Twitter. As much as I run it, I don't really. I think there was a copycat Captain Logan. Maybe not on Twitter, maybe somewhere else.
There was an Eric, I remember that.
Oh, I remember the copycat Eric, yeah. Okay, I honestly don't know why I'm fighting this guy again.
Rockman says, I thought Austin's favorite MCU movie was Alpha Flight. I didn't get to my number one, but that is my number one.
Look,
For when that comes out.
if you really want to read through your listing, that's fun.
No, it's okay. Everybody else can imagine the rest of my list.
You'll just have to imagine my favorite Marvel films.
Wanderer says you put Iron Man 2 above Age of Ultron. How dare you?
Yeah, kind of how dare you. Are you just really anti-Joss Whedon?
No, because the first Avengers is in like my top 10.
Oh, was it that high? I wasn't really paying that much
Oh, it's
attention. I was
number
trying not
10.
to die, and then I died.
No, I just don't. I think Age of Ultron's a bit of a mess. It's like really overstuffed. I don't dislike it. Like it's close to the bottom of my list, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, Dimitri, isn't that the most embarrassing thing? When you have to take what he called the walk of shame back to Knights? And then you're being chased by an alarm clock?
Is that what's happening?
Yes, you're
No.
being chased by an alarm clock. Yes,
Oh.
we're having a very strange dream right now.
It is strange. I'll give you that.
So when I was a kid, I had to choose between this and Mario 64 because I had to, like, the 64 and the Saturn came out around the same time, and I had to pick between those systems. And if memory serves, I could be wrong about this, I think I bought my Saturn first. I think I picked this over 64. And then I think a year later we got 64.
Oh, okay, cool. Where's the?
This
Oh,
is
but
the level that looks most improved to me with this remaster. This is really pretty,
Pretty
particularly
good, yeah.
the backgrounds. It's a solid remaster. It's a subtle remaster. It's not like, you know, blow me away, it looks so much clearer. I mean, if you look at them side by side, it does, but like, but it's wonderfully faithful, not taking too many crazy liberties. I just can't even believe that this happened, that we got this remaster.
Yeah,
I never-
because like, do they even really pay attention to this IP anymore? Sega?
No, not really. I don't
Yeah.
remember the last time anything was done with knights, unless something is being done with it in whatever it was Dimitri was talking about earlier that I hadn't heard of.
Yeah. Maybe they'll make a movie. It'll be a part of a Sonic shared universe.
Well, given how much I didn't care for that movie, I kind of hope that doesn't happen.
But how much would you love if it's like, I don't know, insert like C-list actor here, hanging out with some kid that becomes knight, and she just like flies around New York, or like, yeah.
And she's just dreaming about owls for no reason.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, here's like my blue ball that allows me to teleport.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole thing actually has nothing to do with dreams at all.
Yeah. Well, and then there'll be a scene where they go to like a jewelry store and she flies around and it's like, look at all these rings. And that'll be your reference to the rings.
Yeah, like I'm hesitating adding anything to this because I'm afraid of making it too clever. You have to work hard to be that generic with a property like this or Sonic, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's just how I feel about it. You got to work as really hard to be as generic as they were.
Yeah, that movie is pretty generic.
So there's a really neat game on the Game Boy Advance that I recently discovered on my emulator machine, my converted Virtua Fighter emulator machine, and also my coffee table machine. I've got two emulator machines now, and it's a I never played this before, and it's a lot more fun looking at it larger, I would think, than if I did have it in a handheld. But it's a pinball game that has a Sonic table, and it has a Knights table, and it's called Sonic Pinball Party. And basically, this entire game is on that game in pinball form, and it's cool. It's got all the music.
Oh, cool.
But you get to hear it with the sound chip from the Game Boy Advance, and it's neat. They did a great job on it. It's a lot of fun. I've played through that a couple times now.
Busted Sim, I found Infinity War to be kind of badly paced, in my opinion. Conversely, Endgame was like my idea of a personal perfect movie. I think Infinity War is a tighter film than Endgame.
I do too. I was gonna say I expected Austin to say strike that, reverse it.
Yeah. Put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
I was making a Willy Wonka reference, but you know.
I was making the classier reference with Missy Elliott.
One of us needed the other one explained to him, I think.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Willy Wonka.
And now we're bobsledding.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, and it's Elliot riding Knights as a bobsled.
Well, this reminds me of like one of the old Sonic like bonus stages or whatever, special stages.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I'm sure you know that Sonic Team made this game.
Well, yeah. That's why Knights is in Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, and Knight shows up in some other Sonic games too. It's in Sonic Riders as an unlockable character.
Oh, okay.
That old racing game, which is really fun.
Sonic Adventure is just like one of the only Sonic games I've played, so that's always my go-to. Let's see. Oh. Rainbow Nightmare says he's gonna do your New Year's resolution.
Oh wow, he's gonna not spend any money on himself for a whole year?
Yeah.
Or is he gonna do the one where he makes a lot of rewinds?
A bit of both.
A bit of both.
No, and I've thought about that too. The whole doing lots of rewinds. No, about not spending as much money like on myself. I'm gonna at least try to cut back if not like go all the way.
Like I said in that video, I've stacked up so much stuff that I've never really fully appreciated, and some things I've never touched at all. Yeah, all the bosses are out of order. This is supposed to be the first boss.
This looks like it should be like the last boss.
I think they're randomizing.
Nice
Nah, 'cause
drag.
it's really easy. This was the thing they sold the game most on. This dragon thing was in all the advertising.
If you take the snake part away and give it legs, it kind of looks like one of the bosses from Spyro 3.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Just like that giant frog head looking thing. John Early, Patty Jenkins knew that Dark World was going to be a disaster, but then she dodged one disaster for another. I'm looking at you, Wonder Woman 84.
Well, a lot of people feel like that, yeah.
Yep. Although I think her version of Thor is like was like completely different than what they ended up doing. So I've always heard her version described as like a Romeo and Juliet movie.
Well, what they made looks like a really compromised, dulled out kind of mess. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that could be anybody's vision, right? Like,
Oh, for sure. Well, and we already know that like there was stuff that was rewritten by Whedon, like with the Loki stuff.
right.
Like, who
And that
even
was
knows?
the only stuff that was really worth watching in that.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I wonder, like, if you were to go back and add the stuff they had for Malekith, if it would be any better, or if it would be like just as generic. Who knows?
Well, I appreciate all the feedback I've gotten about the New Year's resolution thing. I really debated about whether or not to even publicly mention that. I was afraid it might be a little bit too personal, and I didn't want to come off like I was going like, look at me, aren't I amazing? I'm gonna do this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to manage it. Like, I'm gonna try, but I thought it. Ultimately, I decided to go ahead and bring it up in case it was an idea that somebody else wanted to try. So it's neat hearing that that it resonated with people.
Rockman and Wanderer mentioned that there's a Knights game on the Wii. Have you played that one?
I have, and I've never finished it because I just couldn't get into it. There's so many cutscenes that are unskippable with really boring exposition.
Oh, no.
And I don't want that in my Knights game. Just give me more of this. Like, less is more. And the levels I played were fine, but it was too much like a modern Sonic game. Which is...
Oh,
wait a minute. Yeah, they're changing music. This is not this track. Oh, that's very strange. It sounds a lot like... You know how, later Sonic, or not later Sonic games, but like the Sonic games after Sonic 1 on the Genesis would have like a version 1 and a version 2 for songs. Like the first act of the zone would have a track and then it would be like mixed up a little bit. This sounds like that for Soft Museum. Like if it was a Soft Museum like Act 2. It's very strange. It starts off differently. Like now it's that song. Weird. This is my favorite music in Knights. This is my favorite level in Knights. Oh, it's bizarre hearing this.
James Egan says, Austin, are you low-key constantly reminding Cap to do certain commentaries with your background? I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll get to it.
I just see that as like a little Easter egg.
I've kind of been enjoying just how far we can stretch this.
Well, it's got to be like several months. I think we did the first one in March, and then the second one in like September. So, need a few more months to go by.
I mean, it would not be the first time I've stretched things that far with commentaries. The Star Trek commentaries, I think, took a couple years to finish.
Yeah. Well, you just don't want to like reach the end with Dark Fate, so
Yeah,
gotta hit the
I
break.
will put that off as long as humanly possible. Oh, I don't know why I'm still going on after all these balls. I have enough. I'm good.
Koksky Productions, do you think the Fantastic Four will finally get a cool movie, or are those characters just cursed?
I hope so. I don't think they're cursed. I just don't think there've been a lot of, inspired ideas, and the right people haven't been behind them. So hopefully, this time the right people are.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I know some people were kind of down on John Watts getting
Oh
it,
no.
but I like both of his Spider-Man movies, so I am at least like cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I hope his sensibilities don't get us too far away from the cosmic nature of Fantastic Four. That would be the worry. Where it'll almost... The worry is that it could be almost like an Amazing Spider-Man thing, right? Where it's like, he handles the character dynamics well, but doesn't really care enough about the comic book stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that could be. What are your, like, kind of hopes for a first Fantastic Four movie? Like, what would you want to see them do?
So 3 different possibilities. The obvious one is Galactus. I think you could totally do that first time out. I think depending on where the Fantastic Four are and what your explanation is for why we haven't seen them yet, having them suddenly show up to fight that threat is not the worst idea I can think of. I like Molecule Man a lot, so... I still have a little more to do, at least. So I wouldn't mind a Molecule Man. Oh, that's right, because I still have to, like, shoot out the cannon and stuff. And then the third thing would be, I don't know what exactly the story would be, but I would love a first Fantastic Four movie, and actually, I can totally see them doing this, that just does that Fantastic Four #1 cover and has, like, the big Lava Man guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah,
And-
mine is, I feel like they could do Mole Man for the first one,
Sure.
and then for the second one, I'd want Doctor Doom and Molecule Man, kind of like what they do in Secret Wars, where he gets Molecule Man to kind of understand his powers a little bit more and uses them.
Oh, you also want Molecule Man.
Yeah, and then the third one I'd probably do Galactus, but
Sure. No, that's a good idea. You've thought about this more than I have.
yeah, a little bit. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge Fantastic Four person. Like, I've never read a lot of their stuff.
I
But
just
I put
want
a bit of
that
thought
thing to
into
have a spirit of adventure and to play around with, kind of the yin and yang of science, like
Oh, of course,
Fanforstic
yeah.
sort of messed around with, and that was the thing that made that look like it had potential. You have the wonderment side of science, and you have the horrific side of science. Well, great. I got 3 Ds in freaking Soft Museum. I guess I should have taken my time more. What was I thinking?
I will say with Fantastic
Wow,
Four,
this
I
is
think
prettier
they-
in this remaster too. That's
yeah.
cool. Look at all the colors. God, that's gorgeous.
I will say with Fantastic Four, I think they will probably either introduce them in another movie or have somebody else in their movie to try to sell Fantastic Four after like the last 2 attempts.
I'm still bewildered that they announced a Fantastic Four thing before an X-Men thing. And I know every time I say that, somebody goes, well, Feige said it would be a while for X-Men. Yeah, but I didn't expect Fantastic Four right away. Like,
See-
I would have thought it would be a few years for both of them.
Oh no, I assumed that they'd do Fantastic Four first. Just because, like, yeah, X-Men's probably like a bigger, or not probably, is a bigger sell.
Yeah.
But like Fantastic Four is so much easier to put into the MCU.
Well,
And
yes,
then-
of course, but but again, it's a harder sell because people don't trust that property.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
wouldn't
I
have thought they'd
assume
be
that they just want to
in any
kind of
rush
get
with
away,
that.
or let time pass with X-Men at least a little bit.
I guess I was really buying into the idea of they're using some other Fantastic Four characters before we even got to the Fantastic Four. Like, I was shocked they didn't do a Doctor Doom movie first.
Well, I assumed, because I think there was word that they were still talking to the person making the Silver Surfer movie, so I kind of figured that would come first.
Yeah. Well, and both of those things were talked about simultaneously.
Yeah. And I admittedly forgot about the Doctor Doom one.
Yeah, because wasn't the Silver Surfer movie supposed to be written by Vaughn?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we go to the desert level. This is the hardest level in the game, I think.
Coxsky Productions says Mole Man. Danny DeVito for Mole Man. Not Mole Man for Danny DeVito.
Mole Man's for Danny DeVito. Yeah, that sounds good. That's not a terrible idea.
Well, he said it sarcastically. I think that could legitimately be.
I'm not feeling sarcastic about that at all.
My only casting for that is I'd want John Goodman as the voice for the Thing. I've said that for years. He's probably getting too old even at this point for even like a voice if they want to like have the Fantastic Four there for a long time. But
yeah, I can see that.
That's my only like fan cast.
Okay, this may also be a dramatic improvement with this remaster. The landscape for this is so complicated, it gets a little grainy in the original, and all the edges are smoothed out. Oh man, what am I even getting hit by here? Yikes.
Wanderer, would you guys want them to meet the Watcher? I feel like the Watcher will definitely show up in live action at some point.
And not just as an after credits thing.
Yeah.
Because if you say that, somebody's going to go, well, we've already seen it.
Well, I just mean like, because he's, obviously the lead of What If.
I still think it's weird, though. It will be weird when we finally have the Watcher show up and be like, this thing is so important, I have to stand here and pay attention to it where people can actually see me. But we didn't have that when Thanos got rid of half the universe.
Well, they'll just digitally add him in and then, like, get rid of all of the cuts of that movie that don't have the Watcher.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so, like, you'll have that I Am Iron Man bit at the end of Endgame, but the Watcher will just be standing over his shoulder.
This is significant, because I have already seen the future. Okay, well then that makes you wonder why you need to be here, because you already know what's happening. Like, this is significant when nobody else does, and you know why, so why do you have to be here?
Well, like when Doctor Strange does that, like, where he, like, puts up his finger to make a 1?
Yes.
When he looks at Iron Man, it'll be that, but it'll be pointing up. And then Iron Man will look up, and the Watcher's head will just be floating. And then he'll be like, oh, I know what I have to do now.
Hilarious. Austin, it is a miracle that we have gotten a video out of this.
Yep. It's pretty nuts.
A miracle. Okay, do I have time to go back in that thing? I don't think I do, so I'm not gonna.
Let's see, another.
That's the risk that you take sometimes with this level, is you get locked into that tram, and you won't have enough seconds left on the board, and you'll be like, well crap, I'm in this tram and I can't leave. Oh. Seconds after I said, I can't believe we got a video out of this, and then this happens. My whole machine froze, and I assumed I wasn't even broadcasting anymore.
Are we still streaming?
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Which is...
I was reading a question, and then I was like,
oh were you? I didn't even hear that. Which is its own miracle. Okay, Rainbow Nightmare says damn in big letters. So it's hard to say if let me know if you can still hear us right now. People are saying that I was tempting fate, so I'm assuming that we're still broadcasting and they can hear us.
Yeah, Busted Sim says you're still streaming.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back in this game if it will let me, and I'll play one of the last levels maybe. Stream good, game quit. Yeah, that's so weird because the game froze up on me. But it wasn't just the game, it was the whole rest of my machine. And I couldn't hear Austin, and Austin froze up on my end. And then Austin, I look over to my first monitor, and the only thing that is moving is the timestamp for the live stream. So I'm like, I guess I'm still broadcasting. You get into this weird like limbo where you feel like you're in a different like time part of the space-time continuum than everybody else. Well, I guess now I'm kind of glad that we didn't start the whole game over.
Yeah, no kidding. Although maybe it'll let you now. Like it'll be like, oh, the game's like files corrupted. Start again.
Although I will say I'm kind of glad about that regardless, because I had at least one level where I got D's and we wouldn't have been able to advance because I didn't get a good enough score.
Oh, okay.
And I would have had to start that over again.
Now I gotta scroll back up for the questions I was looking at.
Wanderer, which of the 3 Jokers has your favorite design? I don't know. I forgot. I think I posted that video tonight. I had it on a timer, so I forgot that had gone up. Okay, so the first time you play this level, you're like, what am I supposed to do? There's an arrow, but it makes me jump off this ledge. Okay, guess I'll do that. Right? And then you're like, ah!
What?
And then you pop back up as knights. Or actually not as knights. Now you're just Claris flying around by herself. That's right. And you'll dualize later on. This actually gets really hard. It usually takes me a couple of tries to get through this. Because there's only just enough time to get everything you need to get. So, this last... And you have to do this twice, because there's a Claris one and an Elliot one, and they're basically the same. And... it's really easy to get a good score, but it's really difficult to get through it without running out of time. So you always get A's or B's, but you don't always get through it. I'm gonna go, I guess, because I like the whole 3 Jokers thing. If you see my video, you know I found that uninspired, and the whole thing doesn't work for me at all. But I mean, those are basically 3 real classic Joker designs. So I guess I'll go with the criminal one, just because I always like a Joker that's got like a real nondescript look on his face. Because I just like the juxtaposition of that, where like, he looks like a clown, but he's like, "Rrr."
That's my favorite Joker quote right there.
"Rrr." And I like Joker with a hat.
Alan Moore write that?
Well, the whole thing was a love letter to Alan Moore. Which is apparently all Jeff Johns does right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, I guess Wonder Woman 84 is not...
Well,
that...
sure, but I'm talking about in comics.
No, I know. I wish it was Alan Moore.
Now, to be fair, he is finally getting his, oh, God. That's not what you want. He is finally getting his 3rd book in, what's it called?
Earth One. But I swear
he wrote that like a million years ago.
Yeah. And who knows if he's going to continue, because he talked about it when 2 came out, as if he's going to do like a bunch of volumes on that.
Well, I hope that it has a definitive enough ending then. Because if that ends off as a trilogy, that's fine, because that's what Superman did.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I would have loved more Superman. You and I have talked about that. I mean, I would have loved more stuff with, the 2 Lexes and all that. Like Lex Squared. Such a good idea, by the way. But it does get an ending.
They did it with Two-Face as well, though.
Okay, I'm screwed. I'm gonna lose. I didn't get even close.
Oh, no.
Yep, and that's the end of that. Night over. and then it just unceremoniously throws you back to the select screen. Like, you'd think you'd get some sort of a story thing where it's like, you lose. Clarice is not going to get to fulfill her dreams. She'll never be a singer.
And your friends are dead.
Well, let's try the Elliot one before we close out. I'll play one more level here, and then we're close to an hour, and I really can't believe we're still streaming at this point.
Coxsky Productions, by the way, while I get why people are angry about Kang being in Ant-Man 3, I don't agree because Loki was in the first Thor before being the big bad in Avengers. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it. I don't think he's going to be a one and done. I also think he could maybe show up in that Loki show, because I think he's going to be tied to one of those like realities that they go back to in Endgame.
Yeah, I have a real wait-and-see attitude about it. I made the same point when that news came out, where it's like, I mean, yeah, I felt funky about that too, where it's like, is that really where you want Kang? And then I'm like, well, you can't expect necessarily that that's the only place you'll get him. The whole thing is just going to be about how he's characterized. Like, what you're stuck with after that movie. Because what I don't trust is that director with real heavy comic stuff.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So, I mean, that thing is going to have to be a little bit less of a comedy and take itself a little bit more seriously, I would think. Or that character can't be, you know, the source of a lot of the comedy. Like, if he's just a straight up, you know, kind of joke or really generic, it might be difficult to come back from that later.
Well, I guess, like, the first two Ant-Mans don't really do that with their villains. Maybe more so the first one. But, like, Ghost is really a joke in the second one.
Yeah, not a joke, but also kind of uninspired.
Oh, definitely.
I'm just saying, I don't know if that's the team I want to be tackling that character. Okay, so I'm playing even more horribly. I guess the Elliot one is harder. I thought it was the same, but it's not. It's harder, and I just screwed up on one, so...
I'm just glad that Reed got Ant-Man 3 and not Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And I mean, nothing against that guy. I guess there's a part. I guess there's a part of me that feels kind of bad for him. That once again he had I almost had a shot at it. Maybe he didn't, but like, yeah, he was supposed to direct Fantastic Four years ago, but didn't get it then either.
I want a video of him finding that out so I can see the light leave his eyes as he realizes that his dreams are gone.
Maybe he doesn't even want to do it anymore. Maybe he was like, yeah, Ant-Man's more fun now. I'm fine with that.
He's just waiting for Edgar Wright to leave another project so he can take over.
But yeah, so like, back on the other thing, I totally agree with you that there's no reason to assume that's the only place we'll get Kang, and that, you know, he's gonna be really, really dull or nothing in like one movie and then we'll never see him again. However, if he is dull and nothing in that movie, that might not bode well for whatever we do with him after that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose here again. I always have to spend some time with this.
Well, it's weird too, because for the longest time I kept hearing that there was talks of MODOK being the villain of that movie.
Well, and then MODOK was supposed to get his own show, and I don't know if that's still happening.
I thought
supposed to get like a cartoon.
I'm not sure.
I think they canceled some of the things they announced around that, but that's or the only thing that is sticking around.
Well, they canceled that Ghost Rider show. I remember that for Hulu.
Yeah, there was a whole other thing though, because there were some animated shows.
Oh, is there more than just that?
I think so. Okay, suddenly we've got a super chat from Lucas Green, thanks man, and some other questions pouring in. So I will, I guess, play one more level. Like, I was gonna go ahead and finish up, but I guess since we're doing a game stream, I'll have something happening on screen while we're tackling a few things. So you want to throw some questions at me with the things that have popped in, and then we'll call it a day after that.
Should we start with that super chat, or?
Yeah, let's start with that super chat. That's totally cool.
Okay.
I'll be able to play Soft Museum again, just for the heck of it.
We got 10, that symbol from Lucas Green.
Thanks, man. No, that I believe that's British pounds.
No, I know, I'm just joking. Hi Cap, the Arkham games were not games at all, but maybe comics, a TV series or a movie written by Paul Dini,
Yeah.
and same story and cast, would it still have gotten the same? Would it still have had the same kind of impact as the games did?
I think City absolutely would have. Obviously depending on how well received it was, and I mean, it being Dini, and if it was done just as it was in that game, I imagine it would have been pretty well received. If that, and I've always said that could have been a big, comic event the size of Nightfall, or Death of Superman. If that had happened in comics, I think it could have been Court of the Owls. I really do. As far as popularity.
I'm gonna say, like, story-wise, probably, but in terms of just the medium, like, the Arkham games, like, completely changed action games, for better or worse.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, I'm gonna say it depends.
Well, yeah, it couldn't have... Okay, when you say impact, I guess it depends on, like what we're talking about. Like, what is being impacted. I think... story-wise, it could have had a major impact on Batman, on Batman in comics. But you're right, like, it wouldn't have changed whatever medium it was in the way that changed video games, but that's more of a gameplay thing.
Yeah, of course.
Great question. Thanks so much for the super chat.
Hayden Spring, Cap, did you read Spider-Man Life Story?
No, I'm not sure right off what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is either. Is that maybe the, like, Abrams comic?
No, I don't think that's what that's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did read a couple issues of that, and I hated it, so I didn't read any more of it, but it's terrible.
Yeah, all I know about that is, like, I think he, like, loses his arm at the start.
Something like that. It's been a while. I can't remember.
Daughter.
It was, yeah, it was real gimmicky and kind of, forced edgy, and
beautiful.
The writing was terrible.
Which is weird because, like, I don't think edgy when I think Abrams. Maybe his.
Well, he wrote it with his teenage son.
Yeah.
And it read like the teenage son did the heavy lifting. It really did.
I wonder if his son just really loved Snyder.
It read like 16-year-old fanfiction. Because I'm pretty sure it was 16-year-old fanfiction.
Oh, it's Spider-Man if he aged in real time.
What is the story?
That Spider-Man Life Story.
Oh, interesting. I have not heard of that.
Yeah, Hayden Spring says he really liked it.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting...
I'll try to take a look at that.
Yeah.
I'm getting D's again on Sock Museum. Come on, get in the cannon.
James Egan, as much as I don't like the Ant-Man films, he does have a vision and is passionate about the Fantastic Four. Maybe, I don't know.
I guess I don't know what his vision is if he has one.
Yeah. His vision can stay away from me, that's what I say.
Whatever he's talked about, I have not read that, so...
Well, I think his movie was like a 60s period piece, but I could be wrong.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, but I don't know what he would make now. We're talking about what his vision was almost 20 years ago. Or 15 years ago.
And I mean, I think I could still see them doing a 60s period piece. I don't think they will. But I think they could make it work.
It would be a tough sell, though, in their universe. Come on, get in the cannon! Because you have that pesky problem of there weren't superheroes yet. So how do you do the Ant-Man thing and have them covert?
Well, we just don't care anymore. It's everything can be retroactive now.
Well, why do you say that? Based on what?
Captain Marvel, I guess.
Well, okay, there's that. That's fair, but they kind of made it out just conveniently nobody remembered any of that or paid very close attention to it. She's from space and she was on Earth like 2 days. And...
There's like ships in Earth's atmosphere.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to take the walk of shame again. In my favorite level. That's unfortunate. I've been answering questions. I'm not paying that much attention to this game right now. Oh my god, I gotta collect all my marbles! I mean,
Koxky Productions, Cap, how good are you expecting WandaVision to be?
I'm excited, man. I mean, it looks spectacular.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
I'm expecting something real unconventional. Which is what that franchise really needs right now.
Yeah. But I'm wondering, like, how much that sitcom stuff is going to be throughout the show, if that's mainly just going to be the opening.
Everything I've read is that that's the show.
Yeah, but then Kevin Feige also had, like, a quote where he was like, it's a, like, balls to walls action, like, show.
Well, it might somehow sort of be both, but the thing is, if what I'm hearing is true, that it's going to be parodying and satirizing sitcoms of every decade, I don't think you can do all that in one episode.
No, I feel like...
Or if you can,
episodes,
it's like, you know, a scene of each, and then they move past it, and all they've been showing us is the pilot, which could be cool, I guess. But with that title, I'd be real surprised.
Yeah.
It just sounds like it's about television.
Jump a decade, yeah. And if Quicksilver doesn't show up in that show, I'm gonna be, like, real shocked.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, sure. Because, yeah, why would she recreate the universe and not bring him back?
Yeah, no, it'd be real weird if they didn't bring him in.
But you could contrive it in such a way where, for some reason, she doesn't. Okay, so I guess we've just been recycling bosses this whole time. It's weird.
Oh my god, this is giving me, like, Spider-Man 2 flashbacks. The Mysterio, like, circus level or whatever, where there's...
Oh, yes! Remember that.
The clown punching bags, yeah.
I gotta throw this opera singer ball lady around. Which I'm doing poorly right now. I finally got her past that hump, so that's good. No!
Let's come back. It's not over till you bounce a fat lady across the room.
That's right. Past this banquet table. Why can't I have lunch?
Because she ate it all.
Nuh-uh! There's a bunch on that table!
Koxky Productions, yeah, they released a full clip of WandaVision today, I think.
Oh, really?
Or maybe last night.
I'm not gonna watch that.
Like
I want to be surprised.
It's literally like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in black and white. I think it was more so like the 50s or 60s era of sitcoms that it was going for. Oh yeah, he says 50s sitcom. James Egan, are you gonna review Tom King's The Vision comic? Yeah.
Yes. With Austin, in fact.
Yeah.
We have plans for that. I have a Patreon requested review for that, and Austin just recently bought that to review it with me, so we're gonna do that in sometime in the next few weeks.
Yep. Which reminds me, I have a rant.
Oh, wow. You've got a rant.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
So as you know, Cap, but the audience doesn't know, I just recently ordered the Neil Gaiman Eternals book.
Yeah.
Because I heard that's what that movie is going to be based on, and I was like, I'll check it out. I've heard it's good. Amazon sent it to me today. I got two things in the same package. I got, it's right here next to me. I got this, like, Exorcist box, and I got that comic. And the movie was wrapped in, like, 2 pounds of bubble wrap. And the book was bent.
Oh, no! That sucks.
Yeah.
I just thought while you were ranting, we'd do a Christmas level, because we just had Christmas.
Well, I love ranting at Christmas.
I think I did the other Christmas level last time I streamed Nights, so I figured I'd do this one this time.
I think so, yeah.
Look at how tacky it is.
There's nothing I love more than opening my Christmas gifts, walking up to my family and saying that their gifts suck. Because it's bent.
That's awful, man. I'm sorry. How bad off was it? Like
It's like not awful, I guess. Like I can still read it, but it's just annoying. I don't know.
Of
I've
course.
had Amazon, like books from Amazon that are just kind of scuffed up a bit. Normally it's fine, but I've never had one that was just straight up bent before.
That's only happened to me one time, and it was with the trades of Dark Horse's The Mask.
Oh, okay.
But I think that might have been from a private seller, so that wouldn't even count.
Yeah. I remember I tried to get that book when I was in like middle school, and I just never did.
You should have read it back then. That's when you might have been impressed with it.
Oh.
Because it's really mature.
Back when I like really liked Spawn and thought it was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was really serious and edgy, and like you were reading something that really told you something about the adult world, the way that the adults live.
Yeah, it's like I finally found a book that understands me.
The Mask.
Man, the stupid movie.
That guy that turns into a serial killer because he puts on a scary mask.
Is it Halloween?
No, I mean, you know, you lose your inhibitions and all that, but those early Mask stories, I mean, I haven't read that in forever, but what I remember about it is it was kind of just an excuse to have a lot of panels of people getting blown away.
Okay, yeah.
But it pretends to be very sophisticated.
Ty, do you guys think that the MCU X-Men will have more cosmic adventure? I could see that going either way.
Same here.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on what they're even doing with X-Men. Who knows?
Come on, hurry up.
James Egan, are you guys looking forward to Black Widow? Not really, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't
thought
really care about
I always
Black
thought that
Widow.
looked fine. The more time has gone on, the more I've been like, oh yeah, that movie. We haven't had that yet. Like, I gotta keep forgetting about it.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I was kind of like, well, if it's like a good spy movie, then
Yeah.
like I'll be more excited. And then I saw the trailer, and it's like lots of CGI action. And I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, oh,
It's gonna be another one of these.
yeah. And it's got some of that like cringy humor in the trailer. And I was like, I'm good.
Okay, so the first Christmas level had music that sounded like Christmas music. This level has music that sounds like a 1950s PSA.
Oh, weird.
That's what it sounds like to me, where it's like it's gonna tell you what to do in the case of like an atomic bomb drop or something.
Well, it's Christmas at Ground Zero then.
Oh, exactly, of course. The button has been pressed. The radio just let us know that this is not a test.
I will say though, with Black Widow, going back to that question, I do like I am kind of excited to see what they do with Taskmaster. He at least looks cool. And I think there's some fun stuff they could do with his whole like move copying.
They learned their lesson from Zemo, where they're like, okay, we better give him a mask, or everybody's gonna lose their minds.
I mean, I wish it was more of like a skull mask, but yeah, he at least has a mask. I'm not sure about like the Iron Man like HUD thing that he has though.
I can't decide if this level is making me miss Christmas or glad that it's over.
Bit of both. This makes me want to celebrate Hanukkah instead. All those candles.
Yeah, we're keeping Christmas going through January here on Geekvolution. At the end of the month, I'm going to be reviewing Batman Noel with Dance News on the Batmosphere, because we're behind and weren't able to do a Christmas show for December. because we had to review Grant Morrison's All-Star Batman and Robin, which was very festive. Oh, see, now you get to see this dragon thing at Christmas time.
Ooh. John Ty, all of the 4 MCU films that are coming out this year I don't really care for. I'm trying to even think of what's
4?
coming out. Whoa.
We got Disney Plus shows, but I don't think we have 4 movies, do we?
I feel like we have more than 4. Okay, hold on. So we got... No, I guess
Black Widow and Eternals are the only things that are coming to my mind.
No,
Definitely getting this year. What?
Shang-Chi is also supposed to come out
Oh,
this
that's
year.
right.
Spider-Man...
Is Spider-Man supposed to be this year?
It's December. Sony still hasn't pushed it back, yeah.
Well, no, but that's not coming out, though. They haven't even
Well-
started making that.
No, it's been filming for a while.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think
Okay.
Benedict Cumberbatch already wrapped on that film.
Okay, I'm out of touch, clearly. I didn't realize that. There's no
Yeah,
way
'cause
that comes out in December.
No, I don't think so. It'll definitely get pushed back. But Cumberbatch was filming that before Doctor Strange 2, and that was filming in London, and they just shut it down because of like the Corona stuff there.
So that probably won't come out this year either.
Well, that was pushed back to 2022 because
Oh,
that was
already?
originally
Okay.
supposed to come out before Spider-Man, and then they switched places.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
So
I
don't
haven't
know
been keeping up as hard.
how it works.
Because honestly, I've been enjoying the break from those movies.
Yeah,
And when they come back, I hope they're great. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it's been nice to have a little bit of a reprieve. It's been nonstop MCU for 11 years.
Yep, I agree 100%.
And so in taking a break from those movies, I'm also taking a break from keeping up too hard with the news on them. Until huge things come out that you can't get away from, that people want you to talk about, and then
Like all the crazy, not so Spider-Man stuff.
Exactly.
It's like how to kill my interest in like one news story.
Well, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We've now broadcast an extra 20 minutes, and thanks so much for all the questions and stuff. I think that's gonna do it for us this evening. I cannot believe that we didn't get broken down again. That's crazy.
No, it's pretty good.
I thought the stream was over half an hour ago. Well,
No,
anyway,
we survived. We're still standing.
we made it, man. All right, folks. Oh, cool. We get to end on the really, really sappy Knights theme. But this isn't going to be the one with the child singer that's flat half the time, is it? Oh my god, it is. See, I kind of want to just wait this out and make you guys listen to this. Here, I'm gonna turn up this audio a little bit.
I'm more distracted by Sonic, Knuckles, and Miles. Why did they put it as Miles instead of Tails?
Because that is Sega of Japan, who were okay. So sorry. This is the adult version. But these singers are still a little bit great. So I've listened to the soundtrack a lot. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if you know about that. The Tails thing was a compromise from between Sega of America and Sega of Japan. They were constantly fighting over stuff like this, and in America we went, Miles per hour is dumb, and it's a stupid pun, because Miles per hour was supposed to be miles per hour, that's why it's per hour. And Japan thought that was brilliant. And so over there, they just kept it. They were like, no, it's going to be Miles. You're stuck with it. And so America kind of had to deal with both. So they made it Tails, but they also still had to use Miles because in Japan they put it in the game. So like Miles' sometimes name is in the background of stuff. So America's like, well, what do we do? Everybody's going to be confused. We didn't name it Miles, but it's still in the game that way. So we took the compromise of putting Tails in quotation marks as a nickname, so he's Miles Tails Prower, and that's why he's listed as Miles and not Tails.
Oh, okay. So it's a bit of like a Robotnik Eggman situation, but a bit crazier.
Yeah. The only reason I say that that's dumb is because, I mean, like, I grew up with Tails, and I always wondered what the Miles thing was, and that was always confusing. Like, why is it Miles? And it was only a couple of years ago that I even realized Miles Prower was supposed to be a pun. Like, call me dumb? I never put that together. And in my defense, Tails' thing is not running fast. Like, that's why it's dumb, right? Like, Sonic's thing is running. Tails has 2 tails and flies. But he's miles per hour because Sonic runs fast? Like, okay.
Should have done that with Knuckles.
Philip Keaton, this is an odd super chat. Thanks in a comment. Thanks so much for this. This is somewhat cryptic. Want to understand 3 Jokers? Keep playing Undertale. Okay, well,
yeah, they're connected.
I am gonna finish that game eventually, and hopefully I know what you're talking about when I finish it. That's funny.
At the end, you'll fight 3 Jokers.
It would be really funny if somehow that's what happens. Like, oh, he was being literal. There's nothing cryptic about this at all.
That's what we need. We need a 3 Jokers movie with a CGI Ledger and then Leto and Phoenix.
And a CG Nicholson, but with Nicholson voicing it. Like, he comes out of retirement just to voice it.
Yeah, but he won't be one of the 3 Jokers. He'll basically be like the Splinter of like the Ninja Turtles, where he's just like the mentor.
Well, that's the thing with 3 Jokers though, is they kind of have that. Like, one of the 3 is supposed to be the original.
Yeah, but he'll be like a 4th separate one that's their mentor. But he won't count.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway,
they'll all kill Leto.
We are gonna actually call it a night now. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We sure appreciate it. Austin, thanks for hanging out with me, buddy. I hope you had a good time.
Yep. Well, thanks for having me.
All right, later, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.